Jet heading into map 1, because it felt like he just wasn't finding those same opportunities against the extremely slow defaulting of DRX. Loud don't necessarily play like that.
We're into the
Watch
Prime Gaming
party
agent
today.
select here. Everything
It's
is on the
grand
side of Loud right now, like you
grand
guys said.
finals.
But last time in the grand final, they couldn't pick up a single map. They have to here, given the bans, given the map, and
Grand
given the
finals.
composition.
Yeah, all the advantages on their side. They've had an entire day to prep, and yeah, we're going to see the Yay Jet and that head-to-head of Aspas versus Yay on the Jet itself, honestly. Absolutely legendary head-to-head in terms of that matchup there. And Josh, I love the point that you brought up as well. I think the fact that OpTic have had time to reflect on that map that they lost on Assembly, this composition, and it does have a lot of room for improvement. There's nothing better than losses to learn off of and to improve the depth of your playbook when you're playing on a certain map.
I think that's absolutely true, but also they're playing a very similar, the same composition as their opponents here. And what that also means is you're going to get this amazing head-to-head. You've got Sadak setting up Aspas. That duo always works together to get Aspas in the best positions. And on the other side of things, Victor has been amazing with his utility. So that, to me, is the premier head-to-head heading into this game. But all of your expectations can get upset in a moment. Maybe it's Pancada Marv that take over this map. There's just so much room on Ascent for individuals to dominate at times.
Yeah, and for OpTic, this is their chance to redefine what was a previous stomp on Ascent. The last time these two teams were here, it was Loud taking the win dominantly. This is the match now that matters. This is the match that decides the tournament for both these teams, and OpTic are looking to rally.
Yeah, both of these teams are going to want to start off strong here. You guys know the map, you know the agents now, and it's time to send this over to your casters. It is my pleasure to be throwing this and introducing you guys to the one and only Pansy and Hypok.
Thank you, Yinzu and the desk. A fantastic start to the day and truly a tantalizing prospect here, Mike. We have a great game in front of us, but it's a different look from the last time we saw them meet in the grand finals. It's a whole different battlefield now.
Yeah, and actually form comes into this as well. Obviously, the advantages here in the grand finals, the rest day, so to say. The map beats are getting these two bans, but this video's got me kind of messed up. We're starting on Ascent here, and the only notable loss in recent times
Let's go. Chaluan.
That grand final.
Prediction karo guys. Baila kung
It's madness, Lauren.
It's going to be a marathon, hopefully. 5 maps on the
Jitra
docket
guys,
we can
comment
certainly
karo,
get to
comment
grips with
karo.
here. And I think, as it stands, being logical,
Bhar dalo, comment bhar dalo.
emotions aside, Loud's form has been formidable.
Terrifying.
Truly terrifying. They've overcome their demons. They are now moments away from once again facing their nemesis. And no higher stakes could be on the line. Let's get into things as it is the grand final. Kicking off here on map 1. Crashies get that first bit of contact, but it's all in, baby. It's bursting. Loud straight towards the site, and OpTic better be ready, because Loud are instantly bringing the fire.
Two very quick quiz. A third followed up here by Sassy as well. Just Victor and FNS left here for OpTic Gaming as Loud take full control of B site. Actually, Carter playing very close contact on the doorway, but actually picked off by Victor. Eventually on the way back through, plenty of time to work with here.
I need another pick though, and with the HP being a little less than ideal for Loud, there is still a chance of it, but that late lurk through middle, look at who's encroaching slowly but surely. Les could be the downfall of it all. Gonna find one, and now FNS, they've got to know where he's at. Confirmed presence towards Cat, and surely this is done for. Surely, right? Surely, there it is. Sassy finally deals with it. You can see the danger mounting. Pistol converted here for Loud, and such a concise, dominant start there. No mincing their words at all.
A statement made in round 1. They stack up, they death ball in, and Crashies dips his toes a little bit, punished for it.
Nice.
I'm curious actually if, really, you talk about this rematch, you talk about the pressure being so high here in the grand finals, the stakes raised, but this is comfort zones. The Loud try and toy with that a little bit. They're one of the most proactive teams in terms of the early round, but if that converts into aggression here and finding entries, it could be very, very concerning for OpTic early on this half.
It's just such a, you know, a dangerous concept for both sides as well, because you don't often see such familiar foes in games this early on, and it truly changes the dynamic here. They should be so hyper aware of each other, but again, the fact that Loud did win their last meeting truly changes the narrative, truly changes how we have to look at Loud in this, give them credit where it's due. But the buy into this round, do just have the Marshal. Nothing too much really beyond that, a Sheriff, a Frenzy. So certainly not outside of the realms of reality, but one thing I am seeing though, Mike, is a stack. And as it stands, in the right place.
Big concerning here. I mean, the drone's going to be crucial at spotting one or two members. Knife actually only going to catch one. Victor looks to go aggressive, punished. Spas ready for it.
I like the idea of Blitz trying to bait them in though, almost over-aggressing on it, trying to encourage his hit to come in from some of the players on the site. However, Aspas like works, but he's taking a lot of chip damage here. He's actually in the blender, but still standing. How? Did he just fight through that? No stress, no sweat, 5 alive. They walk to the stack and dismantle it. Another decisive round as well. Brute Force and Ignis on the way in. No real indicators towards the stack, but like you said, that slight bit of aggression, almost baiting Loud into a false sense of security. Loud, make the most of the opportunity. For the Prime Gaming flawless here in round 2. Unfortunately, actually, the Knife did reveal more of this stack. I don't think OpTic even expected them to pop as quickly as they did on the back of that entry. But I love this from Loud, though, coming in with this really confident mentality. Now, this is the first big challenge, though, Mike. We have the buy coming out here for OpTic. Far from perfect, some light shields. Big flash. You're absolutely right. Well, sticking around on this. Gonna isolate Aspas. That's a big pick up already. And they're committing to the fight. This is a really brawly beginning. We'll peel away, though. Now they've found Aspas again. They take a bit of a bite out of the execution if it does come through on either side. Actually less spotted out in mid as well. Victor looking to actually close the gap on this. Pretty problematic here. Les actually gets attacked here, but the double swing coming through. FNS gonna find it. Yeah, keeping that one safe, didn't allow it to spiral out of control. And I looked at Loud being very decisive, very commanding, right dominant even. Exactly. OpTic answer right back in kind, and Loud are barely making their way from top mid. Now, FNS gonna note that. Yeah, pop flash not bad though. Will at least give them the angle to fight with, but what they're left with is still just the 2 Bulldogs. But again, obviously for OpTic, they love to keep these, and yay, in the back lines. Oh, and the patience shown, it's horrible, isn't it? Nastiness from Ye. Nice and clean. 4 alive, the rifles convert, but again, that was the bonus for Loud. It's key to note early on, we just touched on it, but how willing these teams are immediately to close down these kills. We talk about Loud's ability to convert man advantages, and how, actually early on in the rounds, we're talking about how they have one of the strongest early round kind of protocols. It's interesting if OpTic are going to continue with this. Again, pushing towards mid, whether or not Loud actually are going to continue these little flash plays in through a lobby. Seeing a heavy stack here once again. Les going to have to prop up the other side of the map entirely here. Don't expect Crashies and FNS to go exploring just yet. Yeah, both noted close on A main here. Big info found. There's the flash, and they at least start taking the space towards A. Now, Victor is staying around though. He's not falling back towards the site. He's just holding the off angle, dip back in. Sadak with the punishment, tries to backpedal away. Trades come back and forth, leaving just OpTic with 3. And again, these fights are never ending. There's just no slowing down to this. They've made it possible. Back to a 2v2. That's a big kill actually from Crashies. Relinquishes some of that map control. Look at Marv now looking to exploit that. Iceman himself, the audacity to do this in a 2v2. Do they consider it? Do they read it? Let's find out. They seem prepared, but he's heard them. He's going to call for the run. You've got to look towards Crashes as well. Surely he's going to... Timing for the man! The audacity to walk up Cat. Zero respect, zero care. Gets behind him, gets the info, and gets both the kills. There's beautiful watch rounds like this where you can see both teams are just at that cerebral level, trying to just manipulate any space on the map. Yeah, actually going to have the operator online here for round 5. Loud's ultimate stack looking very healthy here as well, though. Sadak actually with no command. A couple others, and that's such a crucial kill there. And like I said, Marv manipulates that perfectly. I'm just still amazed by the willingness to brawl that we've seen so far on the extremities. They really stick around in these fights, but fighting for so much of the initial space. Ye, though, noted first time with the operator in hand, but a very fast piece of mid-presence. Now, fortunately, for OpTic, they do have a little bit of time purchase there, so no worry in front yet. Oh, no. Just walk on past, walk on by, dips around, has a little peek towards main, notes the players. Ye's still on the case. Yet to be forced away from the angle, and what are they left with? Sassy, Les, and Pancada. No FNS walking this. This is insane play. The bravery to do this, testing them on all occasions. Spot him. And he has no idea. FNS is getting away with murder for the second time! Doesn't get checked again! These corners will be the downfall of Loud. Again, key information, as you see Les slip away into a lurk roll. Knows that Sassy and Pancada are going to have
disconnected from this.
And here we are again, top middle at a disadvantage. I can't believe what we've been witnessing so far. This defensive-sided aggression, and the timing is gorgeous. Might be able to thread that needle of timing so perfectly. Does Saci and Pancada have anything to really say about the matter? Maybe they'll get a plant
30
out of
seconds
this.
left. Maybe.
You can see Marved and Victor actually tucked up. Happy to give it away here.
Disciplined, I like that.
Marved actually just holding the angle here on the jump-up spot, so come through. Again, time now becomes a concern. Is not going to be very comfortable. Pancada and Saci to actually set up in this post plant. Is he going to get aggressive off this paranoia?
Spike planted.
See, Mark still being cautious, waiting for support that is now arriving. Bear in mind we have the flank from FNS, so he's going to be late towards A main. They could wait for it. Well, you don't get ahead of yourself when Ye's watching that. Be it Mark, be it Ye, it doesn't matter, you're dead. Saci now surrounded. 4 players. The first falls. Found him, silences Ye, quick trade, Marv is there. Mike, let's kind of pause for thought here as the defuse comes in. The tempo changes here are unbelievable. We've had patience being displayed, let's say, in that, sitting deeper towards the site allowing the plant. But then we also then had FNS strolling down middle. This is going to be hard to handle for Loud.
Yeah, and look at the number of times that OpTic are happy to do that. Just backfill where they actually discover this information, or at least feel a little bit of pressure. I mean, actually, how FNS isn't cleared down, and it's almost like that flash is tailor-made to actually get them for market control. And FNS runs away with it. Curious here, like I said, some of these ultimates now coming online for Loud. Aspas going to bring in the Stinger. I'm not sure if this is banking on winning this and trying to get an operator online to face off against Ye. Curious to see, but the weaker side statistically here for OpTic. So we're already seeing a little bit of an adjustment here.
Now, we talked about Loud breaking their curse, but do remember the narrative, the concept that you don't get to beat OpTic twice. And now that's come back into effect. So, I mean, Chet's been cooking up something in this game, certainly changing the tempo and the tone to this. FNS needs to be careful now. They are holding for this push potentially. Let's see if he gets the timing right, though.
Loud, actually. Look how deep they've had to tuck into this default now. Actually investing utility to force them off such a forward angle. Again, there's no pressure. Look at OpTic, they actually swing through now. Marv's exploring short, he's got the one-way up.
They've conditioned them to do this. It's the perfect, causation and reaction.
Great bait for the operator as well. Yay, rewarded for it.
Fantastic. Gets the fall away, dips towards short. The lockdown comes in and ensures further safety. Now they can rotate that third man if they fancy it. Still not too much stress. Aspas, position noted, will fall away. This is very comprehensive from OpTic.
He is, and actually the lockdown force them into an uncomfortable positioning because there's 30 seconds left for Loud to actually step the pace up here. Does this drone clear FNS again?
Don't let him get away with it again. Finally he gets found, sprays in, still! I don't know how he's doing this time and time again. Leaving Saci and once again Pancada to deal with such an unfavorable situation. So many players against him and so little time. OpTic mean business today, Mike. This is looking good. It looks like they've done the work. We were waiting to see if they had been able to. Absolutely. And they're tempering this aggression so nicely. It's a peek here and there, and they're ready to re-hit as Loud set up outside sight. In great timing to deal with the turret as well. The bait being the Vandal to come through to deal with that turret. Sets Ye up for success. Beautiful stuff so far from OpTic. Already improving on the previous matchup. 13-3 last time to Loud on Ascent. It was 3 defensive rounds for OpTic. And we have to put into perspective how hard it is to play into this. With the veto the way it is, with the bans that come in, the map veto will sit very favorably towards Loud. So again, coming in with the odds against you like they are for OpTic, this is quite an impressive start. But it is only the start, it is a best of 5. We have a little setup here towards short, and somehow Marv still gets away with it, finding Sadak. Quick pop flash underhand, you can see the instant pressure. They just pile it right back on in. OpTic aren't backing away from any of these fights. Got a no-tip with the drone. Slips off the side. So long! Crash is offsetting the timing, playing a little ahead of the utility there. And it's a shutdown again! What has gone into OpTic? The pace is just great. OpTic typically a slower team, but happy to just stand their ground and fight here, and rightfully so. Loud actually going to pump the brakes now because, as I said in that previous round, they're forced so deep into this default. Just waiting for OpTic to show their hand. This is fascinating to watch because Loud really have to think on their feet here. This is going to be a big test for Loud to try and find solutions to this, because it's not something we've seen from OpTic. We know the potential's been there. You know, they find an aggressive side, but you get tempered throughout tournaments. And again, you look back at the game they had against Loud. They looked, shadowed left on themselves, got quiet, not having the impact they wanted. They've dialed it up to 11. It feels like. So for Loud, it's big adjustment time. They have to somehow recalibrate their mentality, their approach to this game, and it's not going to be particularly easy, because even if, let's say, you deal with OpTic's now newly found a little bit of aggression here and there, that defensive side willingness to fight, there's layers to it, right? Then, well, OpTic can sit deeper. We know that they can kind of fall back to this. So for me, this could be a big timeout for Loud, and I hope they find a solution to this. Otherwise, OpTic aren't going to stop.
No, they're not. The concern being the strength of Loud's attack on Ascent lies in that post-plant scenario. We haven't seen enough of them yet to really get their foot in the door in this first half. We're a 3-round deficit now. Still ultimates are plenty for Loud. Again, we're not really seeing them set up to, make plays off them here. A heavier stack towards A lobby here this time around. Less disconnected outside B main. The curious thing is actually if OpTic start trying to pressure him there. Like I said earlier, relinquishing some of this map control. Both Victor and Marv noted here off the knife. Look at the pressure. They can't even get past this one way.
No, this is a stranglehold on the game. And we know the willingness to fight. OpTic aren't just doing this as posturing, there is intent behind it. Already having FNS kind of over towards tree as well. Ye posted towards main. And Loud have to find the solution to this. It has to be this round, otherwise it starts getting really out of hand. Cycling through the utility though, Marv's still ready off the back of contact.
They burn up so much time with this one-way. Marv will be noted here. Deals with it. Does the read come to the ground? Perfect!
This set piece is gorgeous! Off the back of contact, the paranoia invested in the swing comes out. But he does get punished. A pop of the ult on the site now looking more vulnerable, but the double stack towards tree still stands. Marv, I don't know if he got hit by the paranoia, he did. Just backs in towards the nade, but look who's there! Perfect reply from Pancada. Finally having the impact on the site. But it is Ye in a 1v2-ish. Sadak not really influential yet, but it's still this man, and he's still got the big gun. Oh Lord above, what is he up to? Testing the waters, wants to take down the door, give himself the chance. Pancada now, the single one standing, and you're right, the spike is not to hand, and Ye knows it. The point for Ye! You can't dance with the devil and not expect to get burned. Ye's in the building.
The red ball clash from Ye. You can see immediately how quickly OpTic looked to collapse on the back of just slight contact. Marv and Victor, a great setup here. Pancada actually completely back, but you see all eyes focused on main. But they just can't recover here. You can see as well, even with this. You don't often see Ye's op not shoot straight, but he gets them on the second regardless. Against the reads, they know exactly when less is coming.
And they
it's not
grinning,
noted this point.
Look at Crash's face. They are beaming in this. They know exactly what they're up to. Ye's now getting confident. And I feel like the snowball effect could come in here. Loud needs to stop the rot. They need to stop it fast because they are now heating up. They're firing up. That's not bad, but the answer's better. Once again, the back and forth. The fight never subsides. They just double down on it. This time, no less. Still trying to bail them out. We've had Pancada before. Less there. And again, Less doing it. This guy has been a phenomenal player. They need him again because Ye is still standing, and it's another 1v2. Surely red, surely known, and that time he is dead. Bless has to do it himself, he will.
And this is a key round I was talking about when they're actually looking to come and pressure Less. Get him out of tiles, get him outside of B main, and Less stands strong.
He's such a demon.
Answers the call. Beautiful stuff from him, but still, 3-round deficit here.
First real reply, but it was off the back of an individual, right? And I think the desk rightly highlighted how good Less is. He is an impact player. He is one of the names that should become a bit of a household name here, and these shots are absolutely crisp as hell. But it's a one-player bailout. You could argue Ye had that in the prior round. But again, 6 for 3, we need to see repetition to this.
The trend continues. Ye, actually, look how deep he is. The paranoia from Marv, perfectly timed as well. Making sure there's no possibility of a trade coming through. It's Aspas again. Takes away some of that pop on this execute, but the Hunter's Fury going to be posted blind here.
Yeah, that's how you get tagged. And he's dead.
Found.
Couldn't get away from it. Good connection from Sarsi.
Marv! What?
What is going on? How is Marv here? How is he Sassy just got a kill. Still noted, still fighting. Finally goes down. Sassy's got him. This game is just...
Look at the damage.
Sassy's considering this though. Victor has no idea. Sassy is becoming quick to what they're up to, and Sassy is saving them with 5 HP.
Dark goes through, but they're still locked out in main here, and actually, FNS noted.
Cross is
a little
being
bit of
watched,
chip
though.
damage. Can't repeat this now with the operator.
Okay. Cross vision somewhat depleted, but
Look at Crashies.
Get out. Crashies, you wouldn't dare.
He's actually got the Hunter's Fury as well, so he can split from FNS here, but a little bit of a misread from OpTic.
30 seconds left.
Assessment incorrect. They maybe assumed that they'd have back towards B after the contact on FNS, but no, they carried on forward. Now the plant's in.
Crashies on short here. I was going to say, if he actually does want to clear through main with the Hunter's Fury, he could, but an option to just swing this through as 2.
Sassy isn't the one to be worried about just yet. Pancada holding the push up here. Crashy's trying to stay tucked to the wall to avoid being noted, but he has to swing it. Eventually, Pancada, great work. And they're starting to work it out. They're starting to piece together what is going on and what's going so right for OpTic.
How Marved is there at that point of the round. Again, that's on the back of the paranoia coming through from Tree. Look at here, on the minimap, look where Marved is when this engagement's going onto site.
But the fact that Sassy even doubled down to check again, that to me is such good intuition from that man, just to ensure that there was no second layer to it.
It's the conditioning early on in this half, where actually everything that Loud are doing, OpTic are happy to backfill immediately. Still got the lockdown up, unless, well, we do see, that's the first time.
He's in mid. Yeah, he's in mid. He just went for a wander in mid. On a lovely sunny day, but he loses his life. Sadak with the trade out, and now you can see the look towards the site. Less leading this. One tuck towards market, one towards the box. You have the ult invested now. Do they commit further? Yes, they try to. Crashies though, greets it. Smiling again, the vision depleted on one. I think Sassy couldn't even see. Pop flash towards the site itself. Victor has one in kind. They're trying to halt this progress.
Look at Marv
1
again,
minute on the board, and you're absolutely right. Marv is in the back line. This guy's an assassin. And this time, they're absolutely clueless. And it keeps happening time and time again. This is just unthinkable.
I mean, OpTic is just pulling off some of the most unorthodox decisions, and it's paying off for them. Loud can barely get a steady footing. Again, look at Ye's willingness to just swing here. There's been a lack of focus from Loud towards mid in the early round because they've had to stack up towards A main. They've had to try and pressure this one way, force Victor out of some of these angles, and Ye, yes, gets the kill, gets traded, but then look at the immediate decision from OpTic.
It's actually been wonderful to watch, and you're right, you kind of frame it so perfectly. Ye created that avenue that then you're going to see Marv kind of fill through and then find the approach from. Now, we go again.
More regression. Well, look how early the information comes through, Lauren. The rotation's already happening.
And it's not just mindless, it's so well constructed, and we're going to see everything invested towards this. Crashy's going to post it. It's FNS to find the front. That's Sadak now gone. Crashy's going to be halted for now towards middle. They could really do with some damage now, and they ain't getting it. Marv this time stands to fight, does get outdone. Good trades. There's FNS playing off of Sean, and he just gets aggressive again. What is this brawl? I can't believe what we're watching.
He's only here with the lockdown. Actually, Les looks to pin them in here. Sassy to want to close it down. What the hell was that first half?
This has been one of the most volatile, abrasive halves I have ever seen. This game is playing out like we're in OT in map 5 already. This is something different.
Absolutely is. And I already said earlier on the last time it was 3 rounds for OpTic to pull away from their defense. And it's 7 this time around. The stronger side being Loud on the defense. We have to see where they come away from this.
Yeah, it's going to be 7 to 5 on the half desk. What you make?
Thank you very much, Mazzy and Hypox. This is the grand final, guys. We kicked it off in style. And, Brent, we heard the cheers the crowd had for Ye, and he's showing off.
Yeah, this guy has just been an absolute playmaker, but a key difference, I think, between the way he's been playing last time and this time has been the amount of disrespect he's showing, honestly. Pushing into deep positions all the time, but it's clear counter-stratting, I think, from beginning to end by the entirety of OpTic. They've come into this match, and Ye has been enabled because of it.
Yeah, I want to show you how they're playing, right? They're fighting over extremities, which they couldn't do against DRX because DRX are so passive on the default. And then they're pushing out. The amount of kills they've got on the defense by pushing out because they're abusing the lopsided defaulting. The way that Loud defaults, they have 4 players in one area, 1 on the other. They just can't hold this. Look at FNS getting kills up here in tiles, man. This is your killjoy pushing tiles, and it's booming Sadak's brain trying to deal with this.
It worked so well for them for so long, but those last few rounds, Loud rallied with some big plays from Sassy. And now as we look ahead towards the second half, we have to talk about how good Loud is on this side of the map. They've played it twice in this tournament. They've only ever lost 1 round. 95% defensive-sided win rate. And the man that is absurd on this half is Aspas. Every time he gets on that defense, he is so enabled, taking those fights to hold down main control and being excellent when Loud leads into those retakes that they're oh so good at.
Look at how the heat map there was focused around tiles as well. There was a big red spot because Aspas is holding mid, killing everybody that tries to push him from that area of the map. He's going to be demonic. He's going to be doing the same kind of stuff that Ye did.
Well, Loud, this is where they were expecting them to come online. Let's see how OpTic are going to be able to deal with this defense side as we jump back into game with Pansy and Hypok.
Now, I think the desk kind of highlighted perfectly and echoed what we were seeing a great deal of. But again, when we talk about this side switch, Mike, it does kind of lean back into maybe the start of this game. Where do you sit on this? Where does this now tailor in your mind?
I mean, from what we've seen from that defensive half, I got to feel like OpTic have just completely, like carte blanche, approached this with a totally new mindset. Okay. We're seeing things that aren't necessarily, you know, I use the word unorthodox, but it's not the traditional OpTic way, right?
Sure.
They're happy to get aggressive and whatnot, but like I said, it was that backfilling of some of the setups, and Josh highlighted it perfectly. I was talking about when Les was going to feel the pressure, and when they created enough pressure outside A main, that's when they looked to isolate Les. It was a beautifully constructed half. Timeout here, it's time for the second half. I'm curious, actually, of what they're going to do to deal with Aspas, right? Because it's whether or not they do the old, you know, let's mitigate as much as possible.
Sure.
Discover where he is in the early round and let's head elsewhere. But Aspas is so active on some of these defensive rounds on Ascent, and it's really difficult to get a solid grasp.
Now, and it's very interesting to see the timeout now as well, preparing themselves coming into this for OpTic. That's a real curiosity and something that I'm sure people
that is
through. Yeah.
Ridiculous.
That's terrifying.
1 round on defense, they've lost.
Well, there's the challenge. OpTic, good luck. Because by normal accounts, I'd say, hey, quite a nice scoreline here, 7-5. It's given them very much gateways into this. But Loud are exceptionally strong here. This is their palace. This is their absolute, just perfect side. So we go in. The challenge is set. The bar is high. OpTic, if you want a chance in this, you have to genuinely go against the odds by such a large margin.
A slow approach here from OpTic early on, but they got bodies outside short. Pancada actually tucked in on tree here. Does have Sassy close by. What?
Short.
The second headshot on that.
And Pancada's still happy to sit on this for now, being bailed out a fair amount and no main pressure either, so they're really quite free to do this, but just walk up from OpTic. Okay, Pancada finally falls, and Crashy's got both there. Pancada, fair enough, but how did he get Sassy? I do not know. Les is on the case and Sadak's on the flank. They're not letting this one go without a fight. A 3v3 now, the door going to be dealt with very swiftly, and Les needs to be a little cautious there. Didn't want to get caught out now. The spike's not crossed. They still need to find a way to facilitate that. And look at what Marv's up to. Man. Of course he is. The man in the back line's always going to be here. Marv again. He's going to hit. Did he hit the glass break? I'm not sure.
Oh my God.
Oh my word. They turn around and once again, it's Marv. Just their biggest fear in the back lines. How does he keep getting behind them?
It's ridiculous. He is making the most of so many plays from OpTic in terms of creating that pressure and just doing the unthinkable. FNS hasn't crossed with the spike. There's a cooldown here where the smokes aren't available. You can even see here, Les is taking a double glass. He's like,
wait, what?
Wait, our Omen's dead? Who's that?
Pancada, why are you still alive? Yeah, a bit. Is this just the state of things to come is what I'm looking at. If Marv keeps finding this space, he's got that really good read on the game. But again, you looked at the stats coming into this. This is already starting to look like maybe this goes out of the ordinary. Let's look at the buy here. Just the stinger for Aspas and the Sheriff for Sassy, but that's it. So for OpTic, they want to keep it clean. We do have a stack towards the B site, though, this time, and that's for Loud. 4 players present, and you're going to see a little bit of progress being made on the other side until then. Sadak was a player on short, does get picked off by Ye, so already we're now looking at what else can they achieve here.
Well, no, actually, that peak is almost a red herring. So you said the stack is here on B site. Our players conscious not to give away any audio cues. OpTic happy to slow things down now. How deep this drone will get. It's all the way from Sub Rosa, so he won't actually find anything through tree or onto site. But with nobody holding it, OpTic almost feel as if they've got some space to work with here. Knife actually invested towards B as well. I'm not sure who that noted. There should have been two. They've got a wide open site here.
Yeah, at this point, you're starting to be very confident that you made it past tree, that no audio cues, no nothing out of play, so pretty much free plant. Still being cautious enough, but should go down here unchecked. And let's see if Loud can get anyone. That's the name of the game. Can they do any damage at all in this round? Or will this be as safe as houses?
Well, it's going to be difficult here with... I mean, Aspas has a stinger. Sassy with a sheriff. Well, they're just going to try and dampen the next round here. Remove some of this and force a replay. Sassy's found one. Yay. Will respond, though. Just Aspas and Pancada left to find.
One enemy remaining.
The Spectre does better than the Stinger in that scenario. Pancada will respond, but now OpTic conscious to hold on to at least 3 of these weapons.
He could punish Crashies. That could have been something. Not to beat. OpTic keep 3 alive. And at 9-5 now. This, I'm not going to get ahead of myself because we do know how good this map is for Loud, and I'm going to hold on to that here. Not going to lead into this just yet, so. Just
to cut in there, though, but this next round is key.
Absolutely. This is the one that determines.
This is double digits, potentially 11, because we're going to break the purchase of Loud. We come into this actually with a couple of light shields as well.
Yeah.
Well, this one could be almost map defining, because then the deficit is so large, and the way the OpTic are playing, they're almost baiting Loud into trying to take control of some of these rounds.
And a fast start though. Marved quelled early on. Sadak with the swing, and we're seeing similar scenes here over towards that kind of A main approach, almost mirrored to an extent, but a fight on the other side as well. Loud showing aggression on both sides of the map here.
Yeah, he becomes the power player here. That rifle in hand. Victor does have a Bulldog as well, but smoke's removed now. OpTic need to put themselves in a position to find an opening engagement. They can't lean back and rely on Marv smokes in any form of execution here. So we've got a minute to work with, so hoping Loud try and keep this as clean as possible. Yeah, just going through the motions, removing as much of this utility as possible. It's not causing a rotation.
They're pretty happy where they are for now. The crunch towards the B side looks like it is now being committed towards. Victor going to be there, spamming away less. Takes a little bit of damage, but he's at the sights! Flies over the rooftops, takes down less, spots the player by the back of Bowhouse. Flash dribbles through and starts to eat it just completely. Sight's now there, Spike is on towards it. FNS trying to hold the cross, and he does exactly that. Job achieved, mission achieved.
And
but can they hold this though? Can they hold this retake? Aspas and Pancada have to work this through.
Aspas making his way back through market here. The turret going to be key. Alarm bot actually stacked up on stairs as well.
एक मिनट आ रहा guys.
OpTic happy to wait for contact. It's a weird setup though. Crashes up on the box.
A little unorthodox seems to be the name of the game. This entire map. And
the wallbang came through.
The damage now achieved, but FNS falls and now Crashes is blind. Tips into the smoke. They still haven't found him.
No way.
He's got one. Oh, Pancada saving Loud from what could have been an absolute tragedy in the making. It's going to be close, but I'm pretty sure he's got it.
What a play from FNS. He eats the paranoia, slips inside the cloudburst, nearly gets the better of Pancada as well. They made him sweat for it. 0.74. What is this from Ye? Right over the top.
One enemy remaining. Last player standing.
And again, it cost them 4 lives. And the repurchase looks a little rocky. Ye's got his Blade Storm already.
Yeah, he was farming. And yeah, the buyback for Loud is...
Look at the advantage here.
It's horrible. It's straight up middle. Look at the push already coming out. Aspas, though, wants to be the one to equalize it, the grand equalizer here. Push straight up through middle, look towards tiles, try and spot out the player, but it's not just him. There's 4 players behind it. Smoke towards CT.
They've got
FNS
the
should have
spike.
seen enough.
The spike's
Oh,
there.
you're absolutely right. The spike is behind the wire. It's in enemy hands. They're going to set up new defensive lines. This map ain't going to be fought out like this often. And Sadak's
No,
got
come
the
on.
ult as well.
There's no way they put this is just to slow things down here, but look at OpTic.
How'd you get back in here? They're locked off on so many angles.
Can Victor find anything here, actually?
Oh, Crashy's has just got down Sadak. Oh, no way! It's falling down like a house of cards. Aspas goes down, they still know less. Pancada's there too, but there's that final player they don't quite know. Crashy's with the tag and the frag. Couldn't find Pancada. Les still doing well, though. Still making this seem almost possible. Spike back in hand in 45 seconds. They can start to get to work.
And Marv, this whole time,
It's a
though,
mad
just been
dash.
holding on.
Nice.
Les takes a tag. He's down to 13 HP now. Does he expect Marv
Sassy?
this close?
Yeah, but look at Sassy. Okay, takes down Crashy's now. Game on.
30
Gives him
seconds
a
left.
little bit more.
Sassy
Oh,
dapat
Les!
mark.
What?
Sassy
Punishing
dapat-
Marv on the hop up, and now we're in a 2v2. Spike is down, so time in OpTic's side. But you know that support system is far away. Sassy, they know he was over by B. They've got a ways to wait here, and Les needs to stay patient.
It's 13 HP for Les as well, and only working with the Bulldog. FNS actually tucked up in tree here. Right, actually, Les gets it. That's his third now. The Owl drone will reveal Yay.
13 HP, making it look lucky, but it is Ye on the other side.
The dark
Does he wait? He waits so patiently, he finds one the second, he can't do it, it's Sassy! And somehow this falls down in Loud's favor, and once again we know these guys are damn good on this side. But once again, the unorthodox is hitting here. What was this round? The spike left where it was. 4 players from Loud. I mean, come on.
I mean, 2 things. That's the last time we see that default from OpTic. It's the last time we see the spike there on the floor. I can guarantee you that.
Absolutely. God, and what almost an overplay. A bailout round from Les. He was left on so little HP, and once again he's doing this.
Sassy luckily closes out. It costs them so much, though, once again. He's well just scraping together another purchase. A Judge and a Bulldog to round this out. Hunter's Fury and a lockdown available now for Loud. And they brought it within 2. The Stinger's on the other side, though.
Last minute.
OpTic. Be a pace change here.
Yeah, but there's still that fight for B main, and it can be such a swing factor of if it actually goes right, they win out and they keep control of the map. And now with the mid pressure, they might commit behind it, but no, the timing's actually really good for this hit to come on in. Yeah, Aspas and Sassy deal with both sides of this hit from OpTic. Yeah, lesser weapons just being mowed through. It's now down to Marv and FNS. Just the last one here.
Remaining.
And it's dealt with comfortably enough. Loud, 3 standing. Didn't crumble under the pressure there at all.
Just like we said for OpTic, this comes back to a crucial purchase again. But in Loud's favor this time around. A little bit of a buffer now, but it's not much. Aspas will be able to offset that slightly with the Blade Storm. This will be basically everything in the bank for OpTic. And this is the round Loud can equalize.
There's a reason this veto looked good for Loud. There's a reason coming through the upper side set them up for success. This was one of the maps. This was one of the sides. Already showing the discipline, the capability to bring this scoreline back to where it's at. OpTic still trying things, still getting proactive. And speaking of that, 3 players out of A main, and the spike's coming this way.
They've got numbers advantage on this. If they push through here, Sadak's ready with the flash.
Flash goes in, and Marv actually gets away completely scot-free. And he made such mid-progress here on the other side of things.
The Aldron will reveal it, but already through market here.
As long as the spike doesn't get caught, this is a really good read, but Sassy gets away. Quick moves keeps him living, and Ye gonna try and close the gap though. Noticing potentially one towards Bowhouse, not 100% sure, but it's a player towards Close Cat to punish. And buying time, precious seconds is Sassy. Dealt with and beheaded. The site now looking more vulnerable. FNS gonna step forward, clearing the back of Bowhouse, no, but it's gonna be the trade for Marv. Now the spike on the side, but look at the reinforcements. They finally made it here.
It's just Marvin crashes left now.
Spike
Still got the
planted.
paranoia. Sadak actually gets found though. Marv's found the headshot.
It's a 2v2 now, and I'm looking towards where Crashes is off to. He's playing the smoke. He's holding the space. The temptation beckoning, and he's gonna swing it! He's gonna get 1! And puts Marv in the 1v1. The Iceman himself. The Omen battle about to go down. Pancada on the other side. Still got a little bit of utility to play with on Pancada too. Something's got about this. You're right, you can hear the clock starting to tick. Time is not on his side anymore. Marv, shoulder peeks it. Bides his time, a second. Down to a danger. And he's just dipping back in. He's toying with him. He's playing with his food. Marv is doing so much in this, but does he have the time on it now, Pangada? No, he doesn't. Marv played it to the second and played him like a fiddle.
OpTic get to 10. They answer back now after Loud building in 3 rounds. You look at the knock-on effect though. OpTic's purchase is going to struggle here. What a beautiful round though from both sides. Again, the back and forth is insane. You see the awareness here. Crashy's looking to be unorthodox. Get inside that smoke, cause problems, run the clock down as much as possible. Still ultimates available for Loud. Now lockdown for FNS now as well. You can see there's a Stinger, there's a Spectre here in this purchase, and Aspas back on the operator.
Oh, this is going to be such a fun battle. Aspas posted towards middle on this.
Similar scenes. Look how deep.
Oh, the timing.
Aspas swings it.
The intuition on the timing, just steps out, finds Crashy's midway up cap. Lovely stuff. Now the pressure going to continue to mount though. Yay is just taking space.
Just barreling through.
He's straight up tree. What?
He could be on Sassy and Aspas.
Excuse me, how has he been allowed to do this? How has anyone let Ye off the leash? How have they let him get this far?
There's no rotation.
And no one's noted this yet. Pancada's still, you know, trying to do his work, just sat towards hell, and Ye's above him. This is not normal behavior at all. Ye has somehow just appeared behind him, and this is a devastating round to lose potentially. Now with a spike on the side, they can start looking towards getting the plant, but still, Sadak falls away. Hunter's Fury, I think, just got invested. It did! Sarsi found Victor! FNS on the trade, still posting it. Marved again! How much can one man do? Sarsi doing bailout work as well. And now Sarsi against FNS. And the time, a couple more precious seconds. But look at where FNS is going.
Sassy's got
All
the
way
read.
around.
Great out.
I don't know. I don't know about this one. I don't know about this one! FNS! All the way around! And I thought Sassy read that. I thought he was ready for what was coming.
Nice.
I still am just absolutely in shock and awe of how Ye got to that position. Still.
It's flipped back the other way now. Another ridiculous. Marv just going down swinging here. The only thing to actually put him down, the Hunter's Fury. They said Sassy so close to the mark here. But OpTic find their 11th. They forced the second time out here for Loud. And look at the advantage now.
Hello.
Financially.
Ball.
And in terms of these ultimates coming back online.
Sorry.
It's getting scary now.
I thought this was going to be a Loud map one. I really did. I thought by all accounts.
You look at the numbers and you have to lean that way.
Surely, logic dictates. Even with, you know, OpTic losing that last game as well, they faced everything stacked against them. I thought, surely this one, you know, it's a long series, but I'd say Loud gets it. Even the Des, you know, the veto looking good in this favor for at least the starting points. I just looked like OpTic took it as a challenge.
Just to note as well, Sassy's having an insane game so far.
He has been.
And this isn't even saying anybody on Loud's particularly playing bad. OpTic have come into this, like I said, with a breath of fresh air.
Reinvigorated, looking so new in this as well, playing as a pack too.
And we noted how decisive they were in the first half. That trend has continued here in the second.
Yeah, 100%.
They're really looking to catch Loud off guard in the mid-round. Make it as hard as possible for Sadak to formulate any sort of plan.
Yeah, the 3 on the trot that Loud were able to claim has now been answered back almost in kind. 2 back-to-back for OpTic. See where they decide to take this one. Big info already, but no surprises here.
The semi-force here? I mean, 700 left in the bank for Aspas and Sadak. A Stinger and a Spectre, but a Bulldog for Sassy.
And my armor with it too. I mean, he's doing what he can, I guess. A relatively sizable investment. And look how deep they're already sitting in this. No commitment on that one for Ye. Sadak is going to fill that space and need to be very cautious now. Play forward for Sadak, and there's just no good options. There's no good outcome for him. The rotations are coming in. Pancada forced to the back of the site, and away we go. Ye first man forward. The flash is good. Sarsi's still going to find one, but it all feels for now as already the site's been completely and utterly ravaged by OpTic. Up towards heaven, it's going to be less. And Aspas trying to play it back in, but look at the weaponry, Mike. You noted it early on. It really wasn't good at the start, and it's certainly not good now.
expect for the Bulldog to work back in here. 4 to find Ye. Still got that Playstorm up. So much damage conceded here. Right at the choke point. Ye looking to get aggressive. Crassy's the one to find the wallbang. OpTic on map point. And like I said, the finances haven't been comfortable either side. I think this is Loud just looking to make it as uncomfortable as possible on the repurchase. And OpTic taking no chances with this. They put the lockdown in. Another beautifully handled, was anti-eco, but a Guardian, some light shields here. Not an awful lot for Loud to work with. Some gaps in utility as well. OpTic, I feel like they're hitting their stride now.
Confidence will be brimming, and the high flash to allow the steps forward.
Aspas
Aspas has got
revealed
picked as well. Yeah, he's gonna not do anything about it. Aspas gonna fight too. And just tries to play his life. I don't know how he just got 2 kills out of that, but apparently that's just fine. Sadak, I think, got tagged. He's down a little lower, but Marv's to the side. Again, these rounds are absolutely unfathomable. Marv tucked in the corner, and Sadak's got him dead. Good resilience, but what a bailout from Aspas. Seemingly fully blind, but didn't seem to make a blind bit of difference.
Beautifully coordinated piece as well. Makada going to line up the last 2. Loud on 9 now. Again, the first time we've seen this, though, the flash over the top, the cloud burst in mid just to try and pressure Aspas. The Nano Swarm lineup coming through as well. He takes so much damage here, and he's suppressed, so we can't even dash out of Pizza. That's it, beautifully constructed. Just trying to catch him off guard.
I mean, between the 2 flashes, that was wildly impressive. The first flash to set them up, as you noted, the high flash that comes in, but there was the second. But just in between that split second, they got vision. Actually got 2, so 12 to 9.
I mean, it's a credit to just how insane Aspas is.
Yeah, absolutely. He had seconds to work with, maybe less, and he still got him out of danger. Crashies goes down instantly. That's going to be the spike. Left for a second, but quickly picked back up. Now, you can look at the buy here. FNS really the only danger man, I'd say, with that rifle. The rest, obviously, up against it here. And, of course, the perfect purchase on the other side now. Starting to enjoy a little bit of that money that's been evading them this half so far. But with 9 rounds to 12, a couple more chances to try and close here. Nice and clean for Aspas. Steals a Victor. Looks like Marv's on the chopping block, but he's still standing. And what the hell is going on? Aspas! I don't understand it, but I don't understand how we're in a 2v2 again! This game is blowing my mind!
But look at the spike. Where OpTic have had to reposition to. Sadak's got to be careful here. Headshot.
Just casual, real casual. The 180 just denies FNS.
ये तो जेट नहीं पूरा दुनिया घूम रहा है.
And it is Hey. And
another 1v2.
मालूम बढ़िया बोल.
They look destined for him sometimes. It looks like it's so simple for him.
30
but
seconds left.
Sadak, such a cerebral play. Got Pancada playing safe as well. Might get the 1v1, but that might be all he gets. He doesn't have a shot of it. Lovely.
OT bhai, OT.
Show me that.
OT calling.
Did he catch just a pixel ahead of the paranoia?
Or did he just send it? Cool.
ये shot मेरे को कुछ भी लगा भाई.
I think there was a pixel, but I mean bloody no.
Timing क्या था?
Marv's reaction.
Yeah, that's pretty fair. That's pretty fair.
I mean, if there's going to be a deterrent to not challenge
Aspas
on mid, it's kills like that that will do it.
Yeah.
Timing हो गया लग गया.
Demon.
But we talked about the finances and this back and forth. Nobody really
Chit
getting
Singh.
a very solid
Hello,
foundation
Chit Singh.
to string together
नहीं हो रहा
comfortably at least. This is now right back in favor of Lau. It's 12-10. OpTic tapped out here. I mean, everything comes into this purchase. Ye down on the light shield.
नहीं हो रहा
Lau,
क्या?
they have a buffer. I mean, it's only Pancada sat down at 450. The only thing to offset this really would have been Aspas either playing a rifle here, holding on to that Playstorm, and it would have made it even better. But I'm happy to see the operator in his hands.
If we're already getting glimpses of greatness coming into this point, can't wait to see what he can do going forward. 12 to 10. Timeout concluded for OpTic.
I mean, OpTic would have to do the unthinkable. If Loud win this round, they'd be playing to prevent overtime with a broken bye. Yes, they've got the round loss bonus if they get a plant. That will help the cause, but a lot riding on this now.
Or a bench.
You can hear the purchase here.
Two round ningal to itna.
Straight up into the middle, but it's all a fake. It's all a straight up fake, but they deal with him so quickly. And Aspas rattles off a shot. Crashy's dead. Cross now being watched, gonna spot a pixel on the TP going forward. He's got to know he's somewhere close. Flash is really good though. Marv set up to succeed. Aspas gone. Pancada tucks in the corner, tries to get out of there. TP's away. 10 HP. Sprays in and sprays. And this time, no one's answering. A 3v3 somehow after 2 big picks at the start coming out for Loud. And the fight continues. F&S ferocious towards heaven. One Sassy dead. He can't do it. Les is there. Les is still standing. Loud, hold on again.
What a beautiful retake. Absolutely perfect. They recover the operator as well. Les has his lockdown back up. I mean, I said the spike plant will make a difference. It's not going to be a massive difference. We have to scrape together a couple of rifles, but the utility will suffer. They're missing shields on the side of Marv. It's a broken purchase here in round 24.
Oh, we can.
OT hai.
Let's go. Let's go. I don't need my voice. It's fine. We're here for a good time, not a long time. Actually, maybe. Yeah, we look at the purchase and it's what a rifle. It's scrappy. It's odds and ends. Sussy this time. Warded away from the spam.
Actually concedes a little bit there. So the sheriff from Yay, yeah. So reading that perfectly as OpTic actually drift back towards B main. Yay has to be the tip of the spear here. Actually, previously, the Nanoswarm actually set up for that dash onto Switch, but Yay's been getting pretty fruity with some of these dashes onto B side.
Yeah, I mean, he set himself
so much info.
That's everything. The entire plan now seen. Sassy.
Right here.
Ready for business. Oh, the timing.
He should commit to that second half of the spray. Would have done a ton of damage.
And for OpTic, it feels like they're going to have to start almost brute forcing this. They have no info anywhere else on the map at this point. Yeah, they'll force out a shot and maybe take up a little bit of the space in middle. FNS does now have his lockdown ready.
Ek ultimate hai.
And that's going to be committed. 35 seconds and the counter comes out.
Sanak's not here with the nade either, so see already Les slipping away. Sassy respecting this.
Ooh, that's good. Okay, game back on then. And all the information once again flowing, but OpTic need to make this. Oh my god!
GG's!
An absolute spray down between Les and Sassy. They have no idea, and Aspas makes his debut on the round. And this is just destined to be an unbelievable game between these two. The duel of fate, of course, is going OT. 12-12. Loud. If you open up a door of opportunity for them on this map, it's almost your downfall from the very word go. OpTic were held on 12 for such a long time.
We call it scripted, but we are way off script here in terms of what we were expecting out of this map 1. OpTic exceeding expectations. Loud. Like I said, I don't even feel as if they're playing poorly. OpTic have just come in with a totally new approach here. They're swinging back and forth. So many of those rounds. I feel like the last 5 or 6, we kept talking about the economy. Other than Loud stabilizing finally in like round 22, 23. If OpTic continue with how they approach the regulation side.
But remember this duo on this side as well. Yeah. This was a really key component and what made this side look actually quite exceptional was the combo between
double stack in mid. They're going to look for less.
So the guy got away with a little bit more free than they like. They've spotted him again. There's 3 players put to cast, and that's him dealt with. Now, where's the rest? Pancada with a critical trade, though. Crashy's going to get dealt with as they did try and commit towards middle, but it's going to spur on the hit towards the A site.
Enemy tag. That actually takes the tag with the Aldo in there, so won't be able to come through and commit to that flash. Now that coming through. He's getting aggressive here, but he's spammed through by Yay.
Yeah, he's going to just deny it, and actually Aspas is the one to get aggressive right on back in. Silence in F&S. And putting it back down to this 3v3, but they're walking wounded. Victor!
Cheater! Cheat!
And dives right back on out of the round. What is going on?
Cheat, bhai, cheat.
They face and one by one they fall. Loud! Advantage in OT.
And another round where OpTic are just looking to fight to the death ahead of these spike plants. Beautiful stuff. The setup, though, you can see it formulating, the cogs starting to turn. And it's a 3-man crunch onto less. They create a little bit of pressure on the back of Victor and Marv with that one-way and A main. Almost baiting Loud to come and challenge it, burn up some utility. And the timing is perfect. Less isolated, but Loud. Alter the outcome there. Immediate response onto A site. I think that's on the back of 3 people showing presence. Yeah. They know then they have favorable numbers, forcing their way into A site.
Pressure's on now. Loud had the answers on this side of the map, right? Like this was the side they're pretty solid on.
Yeah,
they worked out, I think it was 4 on the trot at the very end to get us into OT. OpTic need to come up with a concept, a plan, a theory, something they want to try and run into this. So I actually quite liked what they did, trying to find less there, and everything else looked good, but at the very end of it, Loud again, still so exceptionally strong. And we are seeing a good performance from 3 of the players. I throw Pancada into that as well, and Sadak doing exactly what he needs to.
I mean, we're looking at the numbers here. It's not reflected numerically, but some of these players for Loud have come up huge in some of these rounds. And that's the thing. You can count on every single one of these players individually sometimes to just deliver you an outrageous round.
Yeah, and if you want OpTic to tie this one up, we're going to need a little bit of that. Need someone to find a little bit of that magic. So far, Loud starting to really settle into this.
Sassy adjusting now from the A wallbang, but there's nobody outside B main.
All in towards A. There's the 3-play stack for Loud as well. The flash is perfect. They're going to take the space quickly. Marv, progress made. Now, Tommy the Torrent going to take a little bit of
contact. Nice, Marv.
The Pancada just catching strays there. Marv strides in and they're playing so
aggressive.
And it's Sadak this time with 2. The quick pop flash, the underhand gives him a little second to back away. You can see Ye Temptation beckoning, calling his name.
They didn't hear the steps.
They have no idea he's here. And do they turn? Do they look?
Oh my God.
3 players. Oh my God,
you have got to be kidding me. How do they keep getting away with this?
I don't know. I don't know. It's always someone. It's always someone.
Doing his best Marv cosplay in round 26.
Look at this. Gut-wrenching for Loud. Still, must be nice for OpTic. When you have someone like Ye, I wouldn't even say arguably the best player in the world in my mind. Unbelievable talent on that man, finding it there. Perfect space to work. But again, throw your mind back. We said for Loud, wait and see one of their players step up. You know, we've had a couple of them and we asked, hey, OpTic needs a bit of that magic. Well, Magician made his appearance. Bails you out, gets you 3 out of the hat. No worries. Now, Loud hitting the timeout button. Time to try and work it out. Because again, they decided to cotton on to some of the ideas, some of those concepts that Less is, going to be soloing out towards middle. You know, they already started to feel a little worked out here. So right call coming in for Loud to potentially preempt that. Where can we adjust? Can we then punish potentially off the back? They did get the trade last time around. I think it was Crashies who got caught when they tried to pull away from it. So is there any way they can kind of round out beyond that?
I mean, this is just such a mentally exhausting series to play. Because like I said, the tempo, the pacing of this to actually keep up with the rhythm of some of these rounds. And we talk about kind of expected outcomes, right? Sure. So many times that's been squashed.
Yeah.
Delivering on all fronts here.
That's a grand finals for sure.
Bot coming back. Out of charges.
See now, actually, Less from the previous round. We'll have Aspas in conjunction. But OpTic switched things up. Yeah, looking to try and get ahead. He's revealed.
I thought he'd gotten away with that. I thought it was just in front of it, but no. Oh, great pick for Saucy.
What?
They take away Ye.
How? I mean, Ye couldn't dash out. He got suppressed there. Tried to get ahead of the knife. I feel like this has been one of the cleanest first bloods we've actually seen. No regress on the back of it. Marved and Crashies now tasked with holding on to A site. Victor actually tucked in. He's got a contact play off the turret here. He could go huge.
This is everything for Victor. They know exactly where he is. It's too late. Victor misreading the timing and just facing his demise with the spray from Finesse. Still gonna find 2. It ain't over yet because Mars made it on site. The paranoia perfectly timed in the TP to find a little bit of safety. He ain't letting this side go. Crashy's lingering over from CT, but he needs big kills here, and he's got one. He can't get the second, and now a 1v2 for Crashy. As the shock dart invested, our drone goes up, gonna spot the player on the side, that's no problem. But it's a one towards Boathouse, and with 20 seconds, they don't have the plant down just yet. Can he keep his composure? Can Crashies cool them on their nerves? Tries to get a little semblance of silence, just hold on for a second. Left. And now he starts to build. He tries to get that pick towards the back of Boathouse. 5 more seconds. They're running low on blood time. With 7 HP, he's charging down on the side. Oh, it's not enough. Sassy, what is Dusty made of? 3 HP, still standing, still breathing. It gets them to 14.
That is an absolutely heartbreaking round loss. You got to feel like Crashies has him dead to rights.
He did. Was it 4 HP?
Spike down B.
What the hell was that? I can't believe he's just won that.
And you know it, that second between the right click and then the shot coming back in felt like an eternity for Crashies.
Oh my
3 HP.
God.
3 HP. We go again. No rest for the wicked, and the underhand flash mobbed. Turned it well enough that he would have at least gotten a shot back into this, but already looking towards that A site. Rotations are on the way.
Looking invested. It's a big pace change here. Sadak gets ahead of it, does get revealed by the knife though. And that's it, tag up Pancada. He's gonna be feeling so much pressure, but he found a kill. Victor's down.
Pancada's just standing in the open, taking the fight! And Loud take the round, 15 to 13. Rushing OpTic in the end in OT. You gotta feel the round prior, set that into motion. That 1v1, that's heartbreaking. But this,
yeah, will rise.
For Loud. Let's talk about this for a second here, because it did look like OpTic had all the answers. They came in prepped, they came in looking good. They were running everything, went good half scoreline as well.
I've been happy to really switch things up here. Again, almost catching Loud off guard, I would say. Coming out with that first half performance, you gotta feel Loud were feeling the heat. And this is supposed to be absolute comfort zone. This is the stronghold for Loud.
And you started to see it though. That longevity was there, it kicked into effect. And they held on to this game. And again, I tell you, when you go back through the motions, you kind of roll your mind back a bit here. But I've got to say, for me, Sassy, from the very start, was on an absolute mad one. He was the difference maker.
I mean, it wasn't necessarily visible in a lot of rounds, but slowly he was chipping away, got himself up to like 20 kills or so, and we're like, hang on, actually. You know, where Aspas is not necessarily feeding, but really getting negated around the map. And then Sassy, I mean, some of these rounds just absolutely ridiculous. Ends up on 32 kills. Aspas as well, just to note it as well, not necessarily reflected numerically, but he had an insane game here. And he felt so much of the focus, so much of this.
10 मिनट का ब्रेक होगा अपन लोगों पे जाके वो क्या चालू है उनका देखते सुते बना रहा है
This award is for esports games. Did you think the
हेलो हाँ क्या अरे फोन नहीं लग रहा है बोला ना विकास मामा को तब भी बोला फोन करके नहीं लग रहा है फोन स्विच ऑफ है फोन स्ट्रीम स्टार्ट ही हो रहा था इनका
to be suicide for us Mario Contra generation, right? How many Mario and Contra generation? Yeah. Right? Big thank you to the sponsors as well. And a big yes, and please.
Most popular esports title of the year, winner is Valorant.
Games. Did you think that you were front runners?
We were so confident. Yeah.
I like it. First award, big confidence. Thank you guys. Thank you so much for joining me on stage. I'll take the mic. Yeah, the host is right behind. Thank you. All right, thank you. Thank you. Yes. The next award is for most esport titles of the year. And the nominees are Valorant, Call of Duty Mobile, Clash Royale, Pokemon Unite, and my favorite, World Cricket Championship 3. And to present this award, I'd like to call on stage Gurpreet Singh, co-founder of One Digital. World Cricket Championship 3. Any options here? Zynga, Super Gaming, who's raising their hand?
4 years back, we
just putting this together is so fun.
Any guesses? Ocean Sharma.
All right.
Any
supporters of Maisie? No? All right. Blair, Sparrow, Mamba SR, Gaming Aura. On stage, I'd like to invite Mr. Deepak Taluja.
numbers, 100% in India, and that's a promise.
And Team EXO. Yeah. You want to say that louder? No? This is one of those hiding behind suddenly. You can't make out. Right. Akanksha Puri, Abhishek Agarwal, founder of CEO of Trinity Gaming, and Shivam Rao, founder and CEO Trinity Gaming. I'd like to call them on stage to give out the awards. And perfect. Let's have the winner. And I'd like the presenters to just do the honors. First of all, a few...
BT, रुक जाओ guys, रुक जाओ. एक सेकंड रुक जाओ. एक मिनट रुक जाओ. नहीं. basket.
Big thank you and a big come, man. It's fine. Now, Lord of Licks and a big. The next award is for most esport titles of the year, and the nominees are Valorant's Mr. Boat, Game Development Studio of the Year, जो बने हमारे entertainment का सहारा. Again, last 2 years. But
so clearly there is a the cat always back in New Delhi.
Thank you for believing. Doing this, you're organizing it without understanding maybe your change. Felt like an absolute award. A big round to the cheerleaders over there. Trinity Geo
shaped up. I guess we were chatting outside, and it's after so many years we are seeing each other face to face. Lot of things have changed. A lot of people have changed, including me.
2 minutes, guys.
Yeah, it's fabulous. I think it's great to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you. I'll have the hostess take the. Yeah, she'll take it right there. Yeah, that's another thing that we've taken for granted. We're all meeting for the first time, although it's become more convenient to meet online.
Yes.
God them. Yes, God granted. We're all meeting for.
I think it's great to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. Granted, we're all meeting for godlike esports, orangutan gaming. Look in Mumbai's traffic, but it's nice, and it's raining also outside. Anyway, next up is the awards for the esports organization of the year. The nominees are Godlike Esports, Orangutan Gaming, Global Esports, SHUL, Velocity Gaming, Enigma Gaming, Revenant Esports, OR Esports, Skylights Gaming, TSM, Nigma Galaxy, and Team EXO. Yeah? You want to say that louder? No? This is one of those hiding behind suddenly. You can't make out. Right, Akanksha Puri, Abhishek Agarwal, founder of CEO of Trinity Gaming, and Shivam Rao, founder and CEO Trinity Gaming. I'd like to call them on stage to give out the awards. Trinity Gaming, I'd like to call them on stage to give out the awards.
WATCHPARTY. 감사합니다. Congratulations on doing your first English interview without a translator on standby. Dave, maybe he's going to be out of a job. I don't know. But guys, we'll turn it back over to Yinsu and the rest of the crew.
I'm just sad again. It could have been DRX, but it doesn't matter. We still have two amazing teams here. He thinks Loud is going to take it or 3-0, 3-1. Do you guys feel that way after what you witnessed on map 1?
Honestly, I think it's so up in the air still. Yeah. And already you're seeing the prep have an impact here. You've got the IGLs and the coaches already dictating the game in a different direction.
Yeah, and one guy who's been leading the team over at Loud is Sadak. He is in the AIM Lab shoot-around as he's prepping for map 2. And Bren, you were complimenting Loud on the way that they prepared and the calling as well. How much does he need to step up, do you feel like, as the series gets longer?
I think Sadak is one of the best IGLs in the world, and also just in terms of the impact that he has as a player alongside that. It's hard to make the kind of calls and adaptations while also still putting up numbers, but he is going to play such a huge and pivotal role for Loud the deeper this series goes. Because like I said prior, as we were heading into the map select, preparation goes out the window to a degree. And it comes down to, you know, the resilience, the mental game, and being able to essentially adapt to what your opponents are throwing at you on the fly. In fact, we already saw that on Ascent, I think. Yeah, the further Ascent went, the more the preconceived notions that both teams had coming into that map just went out the window. And they were adapting to the way that each team was playing over and over again. And so Sadak versus FNS in this IGL battle is going to be one of the most important elements of this entire series now to decide who takes the whole thing.
Yeah, I think the battle of the minds is everything for these guys, especially as the series progresses, because we head into Bind now, and this is one of those maps that has generally been a strong favorite of OpTic's, but the last time these two teams played, Loud actually came out on top, and I think it also did kind of come down to the late-stage adaptation that Loud was able to provide.
Yeah, it does bear mentioning that OpTic are incredible at Bind. They are 10-1 globally with the composition that they run, and that one loss is to Loud. And it happened in the upper finals, and the way in which it happened is that Loud were running these sand crunches repeatedly. They were getting control of short, they were holding it with the Viper one way, and they were crunching sand, trying to punish Marv, to get retakes through hookah. So there's a clear game plan there, but it also offers an opportunity for OpTic to respond and come up with a counter of their own now.
Yeah, and we already saw that on Ascent, where they did come out, they saw that 4-1 slower style on the attack that Loud like to play. They got aggressive on the defense, even if there wasn't a lot of time to prep. We're already seeing some of those ideas out of OpTic. The question is, what is that idea here on Bind?
We're heading to the Prime Gaming Agent select here. OpTic, they're trailing by one map, but this is where we expect them to recover, given that Pearl and Fracture are out of the question.
Yeah, I would say so. I think this is their map pick to win now as we head into Bind. It's typically been a comfort, despite the fact that they did lose to Loud last time in that matchup where they were playing against each other. But OpTic have really impressed me, I think, with the kind of adapting, and I think the evolution of this team as well, because it hasn't really necessarily come down to the compositions that they've changed up. It's come down to those little things, the way that they change their defensive setups, the way that when they have a Viper's pit online, Victor will hold in a much more unorthodox angle, for example, to try and play off of that. Those are the little things that OpTic are doing that makes them one of the best teams in the world at Bind.
Like I said, Loud love to run these, or have recently, since they've been playing this comp against OpTic, love to run these teleporter plays into B and crunching that area, pushing through with short control. For OpTic, I think they need to adjust their game plan on the attack side. That's where they're going to be starting with this comp. And normally they run heavy presence down short with a late backstab in showers, and I think that got read pretty heavily. And they run heavy B long with a late backstab through hookah, and Marv was getting caught in those positions too. So there are clear strategic things that they need to shift, and they will know that they need to shift heading into Bind.
And I think the two players that does put the pressure on is Marv and Ye. They were two of the top performers in map number 1, but these are the guys that on that attacking side tend to play a little bit slower, are the ones playing back, holding for those flanks, and shutting down those retakes that Loud loves to throw.
Yeah, and this is where OpTic, they have to come back. If you look at the maps of the rest of the pool, definitely. How concerned are you guys if they're not able to?
If Loud win here, I'm with Buzz. It's probably a 3-0 or a 3-1.
Oh. It feels that way, right? It really does. I think both of these teams are just, despite the fact that the first map was so close.
Yeah, it's going to be an important one indeed. We already had an overtime. Pansy and Hypog, we in for another one?
I absolutely bloody well hope so, if it keeps up to what map 1 is looking like. But Mike, this is one of those gateway maps, I feel, in potentially unlocking the best of 5 here. If it does go the way of, let's say, Loud, you do feel as though it starts looking like that 3-0 does become highly likely, maybe a 3-1.
I believe so, yeah. I'm absolutely with the desk down with Buzz as well, that ultimately this one is really the flip factor of this veto. And when I said previously the veto's front-loaded for Ascent, that was the one that should have been comfortable. So in terms of expectations, we're already kind of off kilter here. So it's going to be interesting, again, starting on the attacking side. I mean, last time Victor didn't necessarily struggle to really find value, but the number of times that Loud were actually effectively able to deal with him, some of the best highlights were actually some of these setups where Loud had the perfect reads, and they knew at what time of the round that was going to happen. They absolutely bossed the middle round.
A bad performance from OpTic, an off day before, and you find the validity in the answer of, was this now Loud fully answering them, fully understanding what makes OpTic great on this map, or can Loud do that again? Has been evolution? So many more questions coming into this. We look towards the attacking side here, and it's OpTic starting out. But can't help but glance towards the defending side of Loud, already exploring a little towards short. Pop flash, popping a flash in towards showers, noting nothing so far.
Marv actually positioned outside, and on the back of that sound cue, both him and FNS will peel away from this. An early progress for Ye and Crashies here. There's only one member. Les has been left to try and anchor on B site here, and haven't really progressed anywhere else on the map. No real confirmed information elsewhere.
And the first contact made, noting Ye and the follow-up. So you're now going to know at least 2 players towards long, so he's got to try and play his life. Already Ye's going to backfill that space though, take all that elbow control away, force him towards CT. This is a full-on retake 5v5.
Spike planted.
Now actually, look, OpTic look to push even further through. Crashies will find less, and that's an early kill to concede in this retake. Nobody else even really set up close enough to capitalize on that contact.
Now I'm looking towards maybe the pressure that's going to come in from Hookah. Victor does need to readjust towards Tube, down to 73 HP, but there's been time now, and Sassy just finds Victor. Ye overextend towards CT, and the punish on the timing here. They've actually carved space for themselves. And timing, they've still going to get a little bit of a wiggle on here, but the fight towards CT. CT is found, and now Marv. Oh, what? Marv gets 3 from elbow. The rest of his team crumbled around him, and Marv still delivers.
What an insane turnaround on that for the Red Bull clutch. Just when it all looked going so well for Loud. Even find this first one. Beautifully done. Surgical precision from Marv. You can see,
because the retake until that point looked unbelievably
I mean, OpTic were crumbling ahead of that.
The burst.
Hang on, though. Loud have actually forced back into this.
Get out of here. Well, we've got Stingers coming out. We've got no armor behind it, though. So it's purely Stingers with a little bit of utility. That's about it. This
could dampen the next purchase, so what can they achieve off this?
Let's see. And first contact found in the success. Sassy's already got it. Ye's dead. And now if you're OpTic, you're not expecting this. And there's more damage. Loud and making it count. Flipping the script here in round 2.
Marv left to pick up the pieces here on short. The flash actually should just catch him, so noting presence there. Crashes on the other side, nothing to act upon.
Launching smoke.
Oh, that's it. Still got 2 towards long here. I mean, Sassy's got the upgrade. Really, this rotation coming through from Les, but he's only got a frenzy in hand. Sadak wisely respecting this.
Thought he was going to sit a little bit deeper towards CT, but actually Marv wants to provide almost more. Maybe dig him out of this hole they're sitting in towards, getting up close and personal to the Stingers. The man's absolutely tearing into them, and he has at least given them a 1v2, right? Like, he's done the best he could, potentially.
This flash could be crucial.
Okay, confirms his attendance. Spots one towards Heaven. He now knows both the players. He wants the fight towards Heaven, and he gets it. And now looks towards the follow-up. Pancada creeping closer, and the pop flash has to be good. He's called him. A little bit of a turn, though. Pancada's got the gun back out. He's ready to fight on this. A tap on the spike, and the push! He sprays him wildly, and Crashies could not care. Damage achieved, though, Mike.
4 will fall for OpTic with his back-to-back Red Bull clutches. Crashes and Marv. Getting OpTic on the board here to start bind. Again, with that Stinger purchase coming through, we'll see what the gaps now within this purchase. Fantastic opener, actually. Even to flip this back, full 2v4, actually, and that's with Marv getting hyper-aggressive with that smoke. Live from the Hex quarters. the watch party all lined up. Seeing it, that yeah, there are gaps here. Some utility missing. Sassy actually going to offset this now with the ultimate being available. Crashes on the other side will grab the orb in showers. Marvd actually has the orbital strike online very early on here for round 3. Could be key in a post-plant scenario here as well. They can get themselves there. Actually, FNS gets ahead of it.
Look how far he'd progressed. That, to me, was such a surprising factor that no one had noticed it until now. Same to be said for Aspas. No one towards it, but the trade comes in. So position now removed, bit of a one and done. Now what remains is, well, less. Still connecting, but the trade's still coming. They're really fighting for the site. Now, plant comes in, OpTic should be able to get in towards a decent post-plant. Seeing how far those Seekers go, they know they've got a little bit of time to work on this now.
Posted, but shouldn't actually catch anybody here, so...
Somewhat telling in itself, but not going to give away the full picture. Yay posted on the angle. Ooh, the timing! He gets to look back, but Pancada picked up his teammate, and now the 1v2. Trying to slip the net here, fall away towards the site and play the timing, but already on the site is Sassy. Sitting pretty, Pancada's on 5. This is the kill, he turns!
Oh my god!
Back in time! Dips around, the movement's gorgeous, and Pancada is just hemorrhaging blood. He's got to get out of there. That's more than enough done for Yay. Big round for OpTic.
Just when you think Sassy's going to catch the god timing and find that kill, Yay flicks back on.
Hello.
Another Red Bull clutch.
How many we had so far?
There's been 3 rounds.
Right.
There's been 3 clutches.
Sounds good to me.
Coming right down to the wire here.
Remaining.
I like that Pancada even survives this here.
Right,
what a readjustment. I mean, you just never have an advantageous engagement with Yay.
Apparently
like,
not.
if he's got a gun in his hand.
Yeah. I don't know, I wouldn't put a knife past him at this point, anything else. It's just, it seems like he's far too good at this game with everything. And now we're going to see the knock-on effect of the money being shredded. It's been left intact.
What?
Sorry. Why is their stinger so much better than mine?
And we talked about this last time. That's Victor, though. They've isolated him so early on. The flash didn't even catch.
Yeah.
Yay. He smells something.
There's something wrong in the showers, man. It ain't looking right.
I think he was actually spamming on the corner of the wall. Actually, look at this, though. OpTic re-aggressing back onto Hookah.
They've doubled back into this with a little bit of presence shown and a beautiful shot towards CT. Yay's patience pays. Aspas goes. And this buy that wasn't meant to be much, to be fair for Loud, did do a little bit of that initial damage on Victor, but it does seem as though, again, we're seeing that composure from OpTic. This is what you want to be seeing, though. Keep control of these early moments, these early rounds, because you know that Loud have that capability to go late game, and the flash.
The flash caught Sadak. And the spike's going to immediately make its way towards B. I mean, FNS already got tons of space to work with. Marvd gets even deeper. The Sadak, he's reading it. He knows Yay is somewhere.
Spike planted.
Lurking back over towards A site. And Yay's got the info now.
You just don't love the idea that this man is anywhere near you, just lingering around. The killer in the shower. And OpTic makes it 4. I've got to say, so far, so good, but I still feel like we haven't seen Loud on that full comfortable purchase yet. We're still waiting for all the other, I guess, essentials to fall into place.
Let's actually look at that statistic as well, talking about it being a strong map for OpTic. Loud, undefeated on Bind across Stage 2 and Champions, 5-0. Obviously noting that previous matchup as well. They have to answer back here. We've seen glimmers of getting a little proactive. We'll see with the previous catching Victor off. Well, not now, actually OpTic going to adjust away from that. Bit of info early on here from Sadak. We'll note long presence towards Fountain. Slight adjustment here to be less. Looking to just anchor from that hookah position.
What a different tempo already.
Now with the scoreline benefit, OpTic can slip back into that more methodical approach. Late probe sent out here towards showers. And expect either Yay or Marv to be tucked up there time and time again. But no confirmed information on the setup just yet.
No. Victor once again left to his own devices. The flash will actually not find him. did not give away that he was here, so might be able to find some value from this lurk eventually, but no real deep
Kind of
steps
just,
towards the site yet.
Posturing on short here and looking to get back behind that denial of information from Victor. Leave FNS in a position here, but it's only 25 seconds. They actually resort back towards A site.
Do they clear him in time? Do they even use close utility on this? Aspas is ahead of it, and he pulls the trigger on the first. Takes out Crashy's Pancada by his side. Is doing so much damage. 10 seconds now. Yeah, he's out though. Unleashed. And now with 10 seconds, they got to get the plant. Can anything deny it? The ult gets popped, and they need to get the site under control. Damage achieved, 4 seconds. Yay! Gonna just try and get that plant down. The spray goes a little wide, but that one connects. And now just the one man, and it's Sadak this time. Finds Jay and finds the round.
They get themselves on the board. Just when the Viper's bit comes out there, you think OpTic are going to be able to set up a stranglehold behind that plant. FNS looking to slip out. Just take advantage of that time. Catch a kill when it's seemingly Sadak solo here. Beautiful pinching. Yeah, actually noted very early on as well. There's just too much happening elsewhere. OpTic can't recover, can't act upon that information. But that's just the first. Ultimate's coming online now for Loud. Seekers, Orbital Strike, Viper's Pit of their own. Actually potential here for Les to throw that down in Hookah again, but OpTic switching things up a little bit.
You want to play?
Their early round positioning. No default spread. It's 3 towards Showers now.
Much different. Now yeah, he's on the tour de force. But this close play now for the second time. Pancada's the one to succeed towards Showers. And that's a perfect follow-up. Aspas is a real nuisance at the moment. I love this close hold, and it's going to force OpTic to be absolutely on their toes at all times. Pop flash through from Showers, finds nothing. Crashy's just trying to forge any sort of steps ahead. Just cash towards CT, but he's so surrounded here, slowly being closed in on by Les. Follow-up position seen, and there it is closed down, but Loud becoming really well equipped.
अभी नहीं छोड़े ये लोग 8-4 होएगा देखो
completely switching up the pace as well.
8-4 होगा अभी यार
slip away and confirm that information behind that first blood. Allowed OpTic to set up, and yeah, actually looking to just get that backstab on Pancada. But credit to Aspas there, the contingency in place for that A site hold. What can Loud do with this now? 2 strung together. Slight investment here from OpTic. Guardian armed as a rifle, a judge for Victor. Well, he's going to look to double satchel in here, try and find a kill. Unless, got to be careful, I was going to say, with that Viper's Pit being thrown down.
It's right in.
Victor gets ahead of it.
Yeah, Victor's
this is huge.
Closed through kind of the spray behind, trying to sell a tail, but it looks like Les is considering. I wonder if he's seen this.
He didn't get noted with the Trailblazer.
Actually did not. Still getting away with it. I feel like they're so aware of the possibility. Now 100% sure.
That's perfect.
Is it so much danger? 6 HP, he can't get away. Yeah, he spams the one to silence him. Now Pancada, Sadak, and Aspas in danger. And they try and re-explore their options, and OpTic having none of it. Just Aspas now, and for him, sadly, wrong site. Couldn't have left anytime sooner. Had to stick around just in case, but as it stands, Plan going to come in, and OpTic 5 strong.
And credit to just the IGL here from FNS, reading that Viper's Pit is up. Victor immediately gets behind it. They can create so much pressure. I mean, Les is faced there with either letting it completely expire or challenging. Victor's done so well to remove that control early on. Aspas just now left to hold on to the Phantom. Like I said, this was a slight investment, but it's going to be a big boom to the economy. Look at what's carried out of this round now, and they've had the upgrades. Still have the showstopper. It's on a lesser purchase. Again, you can almost throw in here, but key to bring back. And it's only 2 for Loud. OpTic, I think an opportunity to potentially apply a bit of pressure to the finances here as well. Yeah, slight force up.
Gear up, Scar.
Is it that similar approach? Are they curious to see what the purchase is? Because again, you may not be certain to exactly what extent Loud are buying into this round with.
I mean, since they pulled Victor away from Hookah, they're applying a bit of pressure towards A site. Loud will have 3 here once again. See at least here, much earlier on, information probes being sent out, the boom bot, the flash as well. Even just plant the seeds and potentially keep those 3 Loud members locked onto A site, a much quicker peel away from this setup out showers this time around. But Sassy with great reactive utility here, nothing noted on short.
No, nothing noted on either side of the map. They sent out the Prowler and the Flash and got nothing on either side. So it's going to be kept guessing, noting that OpTic will be playing with that, slightly more tempered pace, sitting a little bit safer somewhere. And now with a lot of utility invested towards this B side, it feels so likely.
So like posting for this. Got to be careful here. Actually, a trade-off of headshots, I think.
I think we've seen this lineup before. Yep. Observers well and truly were ready for it. So clearing site pretty comprehensively, but already going to allow you to know that it's probably sitting towards CT or elbow. Site itself should be clear. Now, Victor going to commit! He's gone fully into this one, and you're absolutely right. Seeker's setting it into motion. TP taken, Ye going to at least find one of them. And now 3 standing. Pancada, Les, and Sassy, where are they? 2 towards CT and 1 lingering around short. And that goes Les. They're really running out of options here, and I think they want to keep these weapons.
Yeah, got to settle for it here. It's another one Loud, have to watch pass them by. Nothing left here. I mean, Aspas on 2,300, but you see Sassy down on 100, Pancada on 50 credits, even with the light shield. Marv actually looking to apply a little bit of pressure here. We know you see Loud on the X-ray, though. Navigate their way towards holding onto these rifles. And you noted it. Great reactive utility from Sassy, and actually on both sides here. Perfect timing and OpTic explode behind that. Like I said, they respect the showstopper. They back away all the way into elbow. Like the Seekers aren't dealt with early enough. They have the perfect information. You can see here on the minimap, both of them indicating at the same time. Just literally gifting Victor at least 1 kill and a ton of damage onto the second.
The overspill almost negating the round completely at that point. It's like, well, might as well back from this. And you got to say it. You said this was a round where this could be very punishing towards Loud's economy. This could now start spiraling. Well, we're seeing that here. Trade of blows at the very beginning. They're going to find Sassy. Fight back in on towards Marv, but apparently they're still just going to power on through. F&S. First foot forward towards the site, and Pancada left in no man's land, but he makes it his own. Tries to find the fight and loses. Victor reigning supreme. The Pong going to come in, and this is just, pacey. This is powerful. The other 2 players really considered quite quickly on the flank here.
Yeah, actually, if they can keep 4 alive here, they can effectively buy out for the rest of the half. Eyes go towards OpTic and how clean they can convert this post plant. A Sheriff and a Phantom to work with. Still good utility available, but... Okay.
Okay, that's a little bit of a can opener there, isn't it? This is on the case. But there's not time. There just isn't time. You can see the setup. Unless, sadly, looking to try and hunt someone out here, but I think he's very much wise to it, and he is. Yeah, you're not going to get the best of him in that. OpTic, keeping 3 standing, still moving forward well enough to build up their funds here. They're starting to get towards maxing out money to a degree, and 9k already on towards Marv. And it's time to pull the emergency brakes, right? Trying to get a little bit ahead of the curve here, maybe close out as best they can in this half here for Loud, because sitting on 2 rounds is not enough. Now, we already noted this is certainly not a bad map for them. This is where they best OpTic before. But I think this is, 1, an elevated OpTic, and 2, Loud don't have that same impact this time.
Yeah, and the big difference is we're seeing similar right? OpTic's decisiveness on the back of early round information. Actually, this previous, where Loud looked to take away that early showers control, right? It's a 1-for-1. It doesn't really favor the defensive side at all in that regard, because OpTic have the numbers behind that. They have the numbers behind that opening engagement to just exploit it. So I'm really looking for Loud to kind of dial it back a little bit. And that might sound crazy against a team like OpTic, where they are a very slow burn team. Particularly if you don't give them an opportunity, they will go hunting for it. But Loud have to slow the tempo a little bit.
And I do wonder what they come up with here. You can see them discussing options on the screen. It was Sassy and Sadak there just having a little conversation back and forth about it. A couple more seconds to really mull it over, but got to say as well, no one really having that highlight game either for Loud, or at least in this map.
Nobody's having a chance
impact. Not really.
Fundamentally, OpTic look world class right now.
Yeah, extremely solid between Ye and Marv, doing extremely well themselves. 11 kills apiece, but everyone's doing what they need to. It's not like one player is creating you all of your chances, but Yeah, as it stands, Loud unable to really find the answer. So this timeout hopefully could be the catalyst to get back into this game. Find maybe a little bit of room, right? Do something.
Big adjustment here. It's actually the operator posted up to enable Victor to take some of this control.
Yeah,
actually, previously, Loud looked great for mitigating this, but yeah, he's creeping onto the angle.
Oh, time looks different when he's playing.
It does. It
Seconds
really
just seem
does.
so much longer, and these players are so damn good. That's Aspas, by the way. The Ye looked like he had an eternity to shoot towards. Now there could be problems, though. Got to be stilling the nerves. There could have been a punish on it, but no, they actually get to keep their lives. Didn't get to gap close in time for Sassy.
Now you give OpTic time to set up behind that first blood. Not Sanak's going to be checked here. He hasn't played this spot just yet. Crashes with the Trailblazer, though. That's what you got to hope for.
And hello. Oh, dear. Not feeling good at that moment, are you? Still actually able to get one, so finding some value, even if not much. So we look to where this now swings, and it's back towards Sassy.
It's so early, though, that it's drawn the rotation, right? Pancada comes all the way across towards A site. He has to, right? Sassy has to go huge here for Loud.
The last man standing. But they're going back towards A. And now Pancada gets a shot at it. Maybe a chance to change the tone of this round. The cross now made. Spikes on the...
And the molly as well.
They have to go for this. And then Crashy's going to get away with his life for 10 seconds now. He's going to take some damage from this potentially. Let's see if that molly gets invested. No! Ye denies it. And now saves security for the plant. Crashes gets that down, and Sassy barely made it away from B site.
That's how it moved. He was so conscious of somebody being left in that lurk.
Sure.
OpTic are playing so reactively right now. Loud can barely get a grip on when they should rotate because there's pressure on both sides, and OpTic's ability to see. How does he still find that? How does he actually adjust and find that kill? Like I said, OpTic are just running rings around Loud.
They're hitting their stride here, and I was worried that maybe the impact from game one could have had a negative effect. I feel as though, if anything, it's just, turn the pace up, turn the heat up. And again, yay, this opener, saving this in case that maybe, that molly came in, denied the plant even further. There was so much potential danger, but as I said, navigating away from that. And once again, we're left at 2 rounds for Loud, and that's it. They've been held on 2.
The stingers are coming out for Loud, though.
Those are the best chances they've had.
Yeah, honestly, it looked like almost doing better with them than the rifles.
Oh, bye.
Like I said, they just haven't had any opportunity to create advantages here. Loud have really been put on the back foot. You've got to give OpTic credit in that regard.
Oh, and the follow-up spam. He reads it so well. Sadek just getting punished now. First man found. There are 2 more to clear. Over towards Lamps, and Crashy's already on the case, but that does have a flash if he wants to really try and set something into motion, but they're just holding. They're holding to see if anyone dares to try and walk out from this.
The same thing again, it's such a free first blood. The OpTic can just sit there and let it sweat for a second.
Clearing showers, nothing there. You're starting to get a little paranoid. Where are they? Where are these people waiting? Because again, look towards Ye. He already kind of explored up short. He had a little look towards Hookah. Nothing there.
Look, full stack,
They've been working
full
out
stack.
mentally. They've got to be in some ratty corner, which is exactly where they are now.
Crash has got another flash now, yeah.
There it is.
Put FNS in.
And it's a fake flash!
Oh my god.
They fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker. Backs turned. FNS with the freest kills of his life.
Spike planted.
Oh, Aspas and Sassy have to try and recover anything they can.
छुट्टिया वाली
Now it's
बनाया
just
हुआ।
one.
Oh no. You got Ye on one side. Spamming through the wall!
What? What?
This is the round, man. This is the round. The fake flash into the wall bang. Fair enough. 2-9 now.
And OpTic have just been, like I said, so fundamentally solid. The look at the position they're in now for round 12. Pancada was waiting half a week to find that flash.
Oh,
Didn't even
we're at
know you
1.6.
Didn't even know you could hit that.
Paper walls. Thanks for showing that, Ye.
Today I learned.
Yeah, there we are.
There's going to be an Odin there in every ranked game now.
Brilliant. Just what none of us wanted. And we go. Not as much information as they'd like on this, but now the confidence brimming with OpTic. An absolutely glorious half here, even if you get through. 9-3, why did I even say it? Why did I think about it? The curse could come to life. But with the fundamentals being so gorgeous for OpTic, really, really drilled.
लाउड का कमबैक अटैक में नहीं होएगा भाई, कितने की भी लगा ले नहीं होएगा। डिफेंस मैप है भाई, डिफेंस पहले 2 राउंड निकले खत्म हो जाएगी गेम।
Sassy and Pancala have backed away for Garden now towards elbow. You see the ping coming through onto the TP. I don't know if they've misread this flash, but they're creeping back
9-4
towards the triple stack of Loud.
मैं इतना पीछे हूँ।
Trailblazer will find Sadak once again.
9-4 हो गया, मैं इतना पीछे हूँ।
And look, this is
पता
just
नहीं।
a rotation. It's so smart. They show all of that leg. They get, try and get all the attention towards A. Post J up into a 2 to try and catch one of them. Now, fortunate enough for Tankada, he's diligent as hell. He did not
I thought,
fully cross, and they're holding the site right now.
भाई 8-4 होएगा, 9-4 कैसे आएगा
Towards
switch?
elbow. They need some sort of control. You're gonna have the ult come in, try and secure CT, and Ye going for it again, trying to find any wall he can just to get the hell through. Nightfall comes in, and now Vision is fine, but the audio seems to be limited, but Victor doesn't mind, turns the flash just fine. Back to business! Back-to-back kills! And Aspas, the last man standing. Viper's pit in the way, 2 holding the cross. There ain't no way out of here. He is surrounded. He is looking dead and buried.
हो गया 10-2 हो गया भाई, 10-2 हो गया, 10-2।
Just posted on this angle. Would need nothing short of a miracle, but OpTic happy to sit in this crossfire. Let this clock tick down, and Victor to deal the killing blow. A 10-2 half from OpTic. Loud left struggling for answers here on map 2 of Bind. Again, it just comes through to Mark and Ye. Just had an insane half. A number of times, it's such tempered aggression at the right times. OpTic obviously being so versatile. Like I said, Loud just couldn't really set up for anything. And previously where they found success, where they found value in dealing with Victor, yes, he's down at 7-7, but it was absolutely absent here.
You're right, and the flawless fundamentals hitting for OpTic, and to wrap up the first half here in map 2 is the analyst desk.
Thank you very much, Pansy and Hyper.
Comeback आ रहा है।
OpTic to come out looking
नहीं भाई, comeback नहीं होगा, 10-2 से comeback तो ना होगा, मेरे से तो नहीं लग।
How convinced do you think they
पहले 2 राउंड निकल, पिस्तौल राउंड निकल लेकिन।
Up to a bind map, and I think it comes down to the fact that it looks like OpTic are playing with wall hacks out there. And I don't mean that literally. I mean that they have done so much work on the defensive setups of Loud. They know exactly how they're holding at the right time. And this has manifested itself in this head-to-head matchup between the smoke players, between the controller players of Mard and Pancada. Mard is always going to be the guy who's going to be second in, playing off the space that his team creates. And look at the difference in his scoreline. I mean, the guy was 14-9 in this map because his team have had such a good read, such a good idea of how they want to be taking and tackling the key areas of the map on Bind on their attack side.
I think looking forwards, though, you have to go and look back at what happened between OpTic and Loud in the upper bracket. So the way that they played out that kind of round, when Loud went into the attack, here is footage from that upper final. And so much of it came down to this battle on short. They jiggle Ye off the angle, Loud push forwards, huge amounts of utility to set people up, and then they're triple facing instead of getting into the site to punish all the defenders.
Yeah, and I think that the executes have always been excellent for Loud to shut down those star players. But in the first half, it was a different story of OpTic. They had done their homework. The way that they were playing the mid-round on that attack was impeccable. And I think that this team will come back in, learning from their mistakes.
DRX का देखा था 9-3, अरे DRX ने 2 बार कमबैक किया था रे भाई। एक बार फनाटिक के सामने और दूसरा कौन सा था? दूसरा कौन सी टीम थी कल? कल टीम कौन सी थी भाई? कल कौन सी टीम थी भाई, मैं भूल गया। कल भी क्या था कि कभी तो DRX ने और एक बार 2 बार कमबैक किया 9-3, कल नहीं, FX के सामने किया एक बार और एक इधर फनाटिक के साथ 2 बार किया लोग ने 9-3 कर्स।
But talk to me, have you seen any glimmers of hope here in this map specifically for Loud?
I'm going to be honest, there were so few, and it wasn't really due to their own wrongdoings. OpTic played such a flawless setup, and like I said, it was versatile. They were already prepared for so many different things that just never came from Loud. There was never these crunches coming through that we had seen previously that found success. And early on, Ye and Marv actually creeping all the way out here. Catch, less, sleeping. Tuck him in, put him to bed. Spike will come through, but a man advantage here for OpTic.
Yeah, जी खेल रहा है OpTic.
Back for shower control. I feel like you have to. You can't leave that unaccounted for. And doing it early enough should be quite indicative of this repositioning the timing towards it. So they've taken a fair amount of space, but they should be worried about short. Over push towards CT, and it pays. Gonna find FNS and Victor. Now you got to worry about those other two that slipped the net over by Shower. They've come back around on towards short, and they want to try and clear towards Labs. Already Crashy's going to find Pancada, but the response is instantaneous. Now Martinier not going to make it happen this time. Loud, get things started. More frenzies, more fun. Get the round, as Sliggy once told me.
Said no one ever, actually.
Sliggy says that all the time. You're not part of the Slug Club? That's crazy.
I'm not part of the Frenzy Club. That's for sure.
Wow.
That's just to put it in context here. OpTic, a 63% defensive round win rate. At champions here. They'll get themselves on the board. They definitely come into the stronger half. Yeah, actually going to put a light shield in here. See how aggressive he gets.
निकाला भाई प्रतेश भाई आपका ऑल आउट ने एक राउंड निकाला. कमबैक हो सकता है शायद. एक 11 तो होएगा, इतना गारंटी है अभी एक राउंड के बाद.
Finding a kill, but will be deterred.
Yeah, terrifying prospect is just re-peeking the angle. He's still looking for the opportunity here, Ye. Looking towards short now. Could have a fight towards less, maybe. Slipping back on through. Yeah, he's been pinged out, so you can already see the less did spot. Yeah, he's going to fall away from that.
Yeah, pinged him as well, so.
Yeah. And it's actually a misread of information. They're going to now rotate behind it and look at the spike.
Absolutely. They've already sent their way back through cave as well, leaving B site wide open. Can't blame OpTic for this. They've.
No, you have to almost overreact here.
Yeah. Be very difficult to find their way back on here. Only Classics, the headhunter, to work with. Even Ops to just brawl for hookah here.
Very good read for Loud though. Not giving anything away.
Really getting overwhelmed there.
Yeah, just needs to keep his life. Dip away, get the heal. Because OpTic are just ravenous for it. They're just roaming around as a pack. See if they could find anyone slightly out of position. And as it stands, Loud aren't really giving them that chance at all. Sitting super deep.
2-0 से हारा है OpTic VCT में. हाँ, लाउड के सामने हारा था 2-0 से. अपर ब्रैकेट फाइनल था अभी ग्रैंड फाइनल से ये. 2 दिन पहले हुआ था शायद. हाँ, 2 दिन फ्राइडे को ही.
Perfectly timed, but couldn't get ahead of him. Yeah, he'll find something in spawn here. That's it. Wants to come back through, and there's less to find it. But denying some early ult progress here, stealing that away from Loud. Well, to come back in with the rifles. Light shield for Ye. The only real gap in this purchase due to the light shield in the previous. Now we see OpTic slip back into this more receptive style on defense. To absorb some of these sight hits, force Loud to dig a little deeper.
I would like to see a conversion of the bonus here. Really put the fire on OpTic now, make him sweat a little bit, because that is when it gets to crunch time. If Loud can actually convert the bonus. Now, all goes up. Yeah, you're going to stick around on the fight. Didn't dip away on the first try.
Less desperate to try and get behind.
बोनस राउंड जीतना पड़ेगा लाउड को. नहीं होगा यही तो नहीं होगा. जो बोला वही नहीं होएगा. पहला वेग निकाल भी लिया. या भाई नहीं, या भाई, या भाई, या भाई. हील भी हो रहा है उधर.
Crashes will note presence. FNS on the other side of things as well, so they're going to know that they've drifted away from A here.
And yeah, he's going to get played in a little on this one.
3 stack B, 3 stack B, 3 stack B.
Prowler actually noticed him. Fantastic work. The pop is beautiful.
गया. निकाल लिया भाई, निकाल लिया.
Is just stunning. Brilliant synergy on this lovely utility work.
निकाल लिया भाई. प्रतेश भाई सच हो रहा है भाई. आप बोल रहे हो सच हो रहा है.
That is now a secured site. There's no way back through.
सच हो रहा है प्रतेश भाई.
They flip a 4v5. Loud come through, and this has got to be read by OpTic, right? The back of this, with less falling, there's no real threat towards short, and with a trap outside showers, especially with that early information, crashes flashing through hookah, FNS seeing that trailblazer. He said it. I'm gonna convert this bonus.
Game back on. This is where it gets interesting. This is where we start talking about those key rounds, Mike. The ones that, you know, financially and depending on the economy can really have that knock-on effect.
It will be slightly off kilter with Victor and Marv bringing through rifles if they can get anything done here, and actually Loud choose to reinvest. OpTic actually going to call a timeout as well, but CFNS is desperate to try and get something back in ahead of the spike plant coming through, but he's punished. Venkata doing really well with the Bulldog there.
So, timeout now called. Chet and OpTic feeling now's the time. Oh, who are these people? Huh. Do you recognize some of them? Oh, that's the guy who missed, it was like a 2v1, a famous one, I think?
Yeah, I think that's Baller from Fortnite.
That's crazy! That's crazy, wow.
वापस इको पे, यस वापस इको पे.
Signs have been good so far. But quite
देख
genuinely,
यहाँ
this
को
is
ऑपरेटर पकड़ा जी ना, मेरे हिसाब से वो 3 राउंड निकाल लेगा, मेरे को लग रहा है.
plenty of rounds to play with. You know, the converting of the bonus is the first, like, I guess, potentially a forecasted closer game, right? Like, that's when you're like, okay, they won pistol, they converted bonus. That's when you start going, right, the scoreline will get closer. We're not into the meat of the gun rounds yet, though.
Well, that's the thing though, with Loud converting the bonus, that gives them the buffer to to come through and win this clean. It then puts them in a position to play some more scrappy rounds, go for these, you know, heavy invested, almost death ball kind of executes.
वो कल भी एसेंट पे जेट खेला, आज भी जेट ही खेला, एसेंट पे खेलता है सिर्फ, क्या पता क्या है. बाकी इसमें सब चेंबर ही खेल रहा हो कब से. वो टाइम पे सिर्फ क्या पता जेट क्यों खेल रहा है, पता नहीं मेरे को भी. एक ही मैप जेट खेलता हूँ, एसेंट वाला.
Again, the next buy round is where you do start getting concerned. That'll be Loud bringing it back, resetting the economy and bringing it basically within 3 rounds.
Oh, then
call
it's
it 2.
Yeah, that's a whole different scenario, but we wait. And initially, last time around with this, Les got punished by Ye. FNS can take it a little bit lower, linger around these walls, but it'll be fine. I'm just going to dip back towards lamps now. Again, we've seen these defaults being held. Nothing too much of a worry yet. I do see the commitment towards Hookah though.
I've just watched this as well. FNS and Les just facing off in terms of the toxic cooldown. You can see it's just back and forth here. Les is being given no control. I was talking about previously how important it is that he dies early. Here, at least the pump has caused FNS to play a little deeper here. As Loud are stacked up on this now.
Yeah, and sadly for the two players for OpTic on this site, they're the ones that only have the frenzy, a sheriff. It's far from ideal, and they're going to try and step a little deeper towards CT.
Yeah, he's tucked up on this.
TP was
oh my
God! Oh, he's alive! Ashbash flies out of there, and Ye is just baffled, dazed and confused, but Victor's got Sadak. The spike's not planted. This fight's on multiple fronts, but it ain't over yet. We're not out of the wilderness, as now it's just Aspas. Tell me how OpTic are 3 alive with rifles now, and I'll tell you, none of us saw it at the start of this round. Aspas though, good for 1,
oh my God,
good for 2, and now just the 1v1. And the correct guess, Victor, none the wiser, forced to pull the trigger. Aspas, the unthinkable again. The 1v3 in the final seconds.
How has he turned that back around?
He shouldn't have.
I mean, you think there it's like, yeah, he could have killed him earlier in the round, but he's done enough damage. He was at 35 HP.
He was the walking wounded. Look at this. Easiest kill of Ye's life. Guess not. Oh, he slipped the net. Don't worry, we've got 3 on the site.
So, he gets the kill onto Marv as well with the reset on the jump. And Victor swings. I think the paranoia is there from the paint shot, but all the damage was already done. Victor swings ahead of the box. What a ridiculous Red Bull clutch from Aspas.
Full throw, bhai, full throw.
Well, we have a treat, folks. A technical pause coming in. We'll update you when we know anything about it. Hopefully it's just quickly resolved and we move through. Not where I'd want to dwell, if I'm honest.
No.
Not the sort of round I'd want to be thinking about losing that scenario after turning the tide, right?
Sorry guys, team बन गया, मुझे जाना पड़ेगा, अर्जेंट काम है, चलो. ये वाला खत्म हो जाएगा, टेक पास लग गया बे.
Victor brought rifles into that.
End कर रहा हूँ,
saved
चलो.
from the previous.
Absolutely.
I didn't know any pistols or anything.
करने का था पर काम urgent काम आ गया तो जाना
Let's talk
पड़ेगा.
about it again, but
That's it.
yeah.
So again, pretty light. Pretty light. Still
कल
bit
से
of
अपन
danger,
regular stream करेंगे
absolutely, but they
Valorant.
were going towards a site that did not.
देखते हैं मैप बाद में. चलो, bye bye.
Oh,